Yeah, coupon codes are a thing of the past. Nowadays, Matcherino changed their policy and they only give out coupon codes to tournaments. I think it's like with a couple of $100 or $1,000 or more or something like that. They have stricter kind of parameters for that sort of thing. So a little bit sad that we don't have that anymore.
One day we'll be able to pay out $500 prize pool weeklies.
The dream, papi, the
Exclamation
dream.
mark Patreon in the chat
There you go.
if you would like us to get to that as we kick off our next best of 3 series on Data Under the Sea. And in the top right hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right hand corner, we of course have the King of Sea playing on Data Under the Sea. The Teals player coming out from the land of Vietnam, representing the Juggernauts as well as Raynor. He is MeomaikA.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Data Under the Sea for the first time on the Cranky Ducklings that we are casting this player here. He is the Ukrainian Protoss. He is yellow, representing Hot-Headed Gaming.
Ooh.
HHG. It is NightPhoenix.
Oh. I just looked it up on Wikipedia. Like, yes, NightPhoenix has actually played quite a number of times here. But I keep forgetting because I'm more used to his previous alias of Sly Crab. So,
what are you on about?
Yes.
Yes, we know
No,
him.
here's the thing. I remember. It's like, oh yeah, we have a player who formerly went by Sly Crab. I don't remember who it is. Now, like, oh, it's NightPhoenix.
Oh, Sly Crab. I know him.
Yeah.
I know him.
Well, no, I don't know Sly Crab. I just know that we have a player who used to be known as Sly Crab.
There you go.
It's NightPhoenix. Kuro has reminded this to us, I think, every time we bring up NightPhoenix.
You say that, I'm quickly double checking. He's played in 1 Tuna Cup before. He played in Sparkling Tuna Cup 15.
And you know what? Kuro reminded us. So every time he plays, she reminded us.
It's true. Not wrong. 100% of the time. 100%. Oh, speaking of 100%, MeomaikA once again going for a pool first opener in ZvP, but when he goes for a pool first in this matchup, it's only for a handful of lings. Only 4 lings, not committed at all. It is just to be safe, just to make sure that MeomaikA doesn't get cheesed the hell out.
Yeah, the one matchup where it's probably arguably better to get queens earlier on is the one where, naturally, MeomaikA doesn't.
You're not wrong. Well, look, it's hashtag just MeomaikA things. It's fine. He's even taking a 3rd base at an appropriate time as well, so things are looking pretty standard here from Meo to begin with. The early game of ZvP for Meo is usually the most standard of things. It's the mid game that's a little bit weird, where he tries to go for his Hydra timings.
Oh, yeah. And usually they work, or usually they don't work if their opponent is wise and gets disruptors. But a lot of times we think it won't work, and then it does.
Yeah. Shout out to Hearthstone.
Yeah. I got you caught that.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, wow, both adepts managed to barely survive as well. As they barely managed to get the hell out of there. We do see that MeomaikA didn't lose too many. He only lost 3 workers, and he should be getting his spores ready here because oracles are going to be on the way. It was in fact that Stargate opener coming out from NightPhoenix.
Yeah, currently only 1 queen per base. The spores are still on the way, just about finishing up. But despite all of that, NightPhoenix still able to get a couple of drones without taking too much damage on this Oracle.
Yeah, 2 drones going down. The Oracle still has plenty of HP, but at the same time, MeomaikA goes for a massive link counterattack. There are 3 adepts to defend, but 2 of them have very low HP. With the second Oracle, though, it looks like NightPhoenix will be able to defend.
Yeah, really important that MeomaikA was able to waste a little bit of that Oracle energy here, because I'm looking at the natural of MeomaikA Light, and that's exactly what I was looking at. That blind spot where there was no spore and no queen.
Yeah.
2 more drones for basically nothing.
That spore needs to be repositioned. Hopefully MeomaikA will take note of it soon. Otherwise, the oracles are just going to come back and wreak even more havoc. Meanwhile, we do see the Hydra Den being thrown down, as we would expect. And I like this because this can work really well against what NightPhoenix is going for, which is that hero style of Blink Stalkers.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. Hydras do definitely do pretty well against Stalkers. A lot better than Roaches do, but you have to wonder if it's worth it to go for Hydras in such a composition instead of just mass Ling.
That's the thing, right? Like, Ling does so well. Meanwhile, one spore doesn't matter here to these oracles. They dive in and 4 more drones go down. MeomaikA tries to go for a little bit of a Ling run by, confirming that there is some saturation at the 3rd Nexus, so he knows that he is free to drone. I say that, but the first wave of Hydras are coming out. I don't know if this is the wisest choice. The Queen is actually going to go down. Oh my god.
I didn't think it was going to go down, but there was just enough energy to take it out in the end.
Oh, just barely enough. And MeomaikA, his drone count is in the gutter right now. 38 drones. That's non-existent, basically. He's essentially going all in here. Lings are across the map. Hydras are on the way. Can MeomaikA hit this timing? Blink and +1. They're not going to be ready for the Protoss. Not ready for this push.
Yeah, not yet anyway, but of course, all NightPhoenix needs to do is live. He just needs to live, and yeah, MeomaikA will end up running out of resources. He actually is setting up a little bit of a reinforcement point across the map.
He is, but he doesn't need to be across map. Again, MeomaikA's all in. He's 100%. He's giga all in right now, and NightPhoenix has no idea. He's setting up a wall, which is pretty standard, but there's still only a single shield battery here. He still hasn't seen this push.
Yeah, this is the Omega XD of all-ins that MeomaikA has right now. He is just yeeting his way across the map, and he's like smoging on top of this.
Man, he's about to dab all over all of these deaths. Right, here we go. Overcharge is being popped. Immediately, MeomaikA's going to back on up, and now NightPhoenix is fully aware about the all-in. Everything comes home. The oracles are on the way.
And all of those gateways are going to finish up as well. There are plenty of resources here for NightPhoenix to just warp in more reinforcements as he needs them. MeomaikA doing a pretty good job of keeping his backbone units, these Hydralisks, alive. Oracles are using their energy on Zerglings.
Yeah, but you know what? Those Lings are going down. The Hydras are slowly getting picked off as well. Even if this 3rd base goes down, the natural is saved. Everything is saved. NightPhoenix is defending.
Yeah, able to defend the first wave, and that's always the scariest. It looks like there's a discrepancy when it comes to the army supplies, but again, it's not something that NightPhoenix should have too much difficulty fixing if he doesn't get caught out in the middle of the map.
Exactly. A couple more Stalkers are going down again. MeomaikA is still all in, by the way. He's coming in with that 2nd wave. Only 4 Hydras behind this. 2nd overcharge gets popped. MeomaikA has to respect that. He has to back on up. And this time, NightPhoenix, he has his upgrades. He has +1. He has Blink. And he knows that the push is coming.
Even surrounding a couple of waves of the push, he's catching reinforcements in the middle of the map just to make sure MeomaikA won't be able to group his units together. I'm pretty impressed with the ability of MeomaikA to produce despite barely having any workers, but it is nowhere near gonna be enough. GG, Hot Phoenix takes game number 1, formerly known as Slight Crab.
GG. Hot Phoenix?
Hot Phoenix?
Oh
what?
my god. He called him. Oh my god.
That's what I'm gonna call him from now on. Yes.
He's pretty good looking.
Hot Phoenix has taken game number 1.
Look,
I might have read the clan tag.
It's so
He is Hot Phoenix because that game he was on fire.
You know, we got to differentiate between the Phoenixes somehow. There are so many of them, you know, and this one he's just that hot. He's just that caliente, papi, you know. He's Oh my god. GG, well played. NightPhoenix does defend quite beautifully. Again, MeomaikA, I'm sure he was planning to all in to begin with, but losing all those drones early on didn't help. It forced the all-in to be that much weaker because he had lost so many of those workers.
Yeah, honestly, it was a pretty even trade, all things considered, when the first wave came down. But I guess that was a game that really exemplifies why it's so important to not lose those drones early on. I think MeomaikA lost something like 8 or 9 and never remade those. So of course, when the time came to push, he was working with a lot fewer units than he would have normally had.
Yeah, exactly. You know, less Lings, less Hydras. That all adds up over time. He did a really good job at hiding his push from NightPhoenix. A great job at doing that. And NightPhoenix was very underprepared as well, but we can see that it still just barely wasn't enough. Barely. And now we load in to game number 2.
See.
Oh boy. Here we go. Again, Sly Crab. Wait. Hot Crab?
Sly Crab, yes. Hot Crab? Chili Crab.
Night Hot? Oh, God.
Chili Crab, yes. Sly Night?
Sly Phoenix.
Sly Phoenix, yeah. Hot Sly?
Awful.
Phoenix Crab.
Yeah, at least he's not Phoenix. Just regular Phoenix, you know? We have enough of those.
Yeah. We have too many.
Oh, God. But here we go. We are going to be loading on in ZvP. MeomaikA. Arguably the best player in all of Southeast Asia. Can he hold on here? Can he keep his run alive?
We shall see. You know. Oh, yeah, we're on West. We forgot to catch that.
At least the players caught it as they were making the lobby. There we go. They are switching on over. Beautiful.
That's why he's so spicy. Because he recognizes.
He knows. He just somehow, some way. He's just that hot.
Yeah. Felt the disturbance.
God. I don't know if I'm okay saying all this because I don't know how old he is. He was playing in the junior championship.
He just turned 17.
That's fine. He's legal in Australia. It's fine.
Yeah.
He's hot. Oh God, 17, mate. Where are these kids coming from? There's so many good young European players.
Yeah. I had one of those, it didn't last too long because I was able to realize that, oh yeah, that's logical a second later. But for a split second, I saw born 2005, age 17.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
like, wait, what? Already?
Oh my.
But then immediately a second later, I was like, oh wait, yeah, that makes sense.
No, yeah, I'm with you, man. He's born in 2005 and he's already 7. That's, oh my God, Yaku. We're getting old.
I guess this is growing up.
No.
Do you know that album turned 23 this year?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I do like it though, so I guess the song is wrong.
I mean, I don't think I've listened to the album before. I think I've only listened to that song.
Wait, now that I remember, they were on 2 different albums. Yeah,
wait, what? Who even sung that song? Was that Blink-182? Who was that? Was that?
Yeah, that was Blink-182.
Okay, thank God. I didn't know. That was a shot.
The weird thing is that band does have 2 vocalists, so sometimes I forget that. It mixes me up because sometimes I say, oh yeah, that was a different band. No, apparently not.
All right, well. Well, here we go. We are continuing on here with our series, this time on the correct server, this time on Central.
Yes, we are hot. And speaking of hot, we are going to be continuing our best of 3 series now on Cosmic Sapphire ESL. We're here in the bottom right-hand corner map, running all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We have our yellow Protoss player coming out all the way from the land of Ukraine. He is, of course, going to be representing hot-headed gaming. HHG. He is formerly known as Sly Crab. He is Caliente. He is NightPhoenix.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire ESL. Once again, going for that pool first opener, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player himself, the king of Southeast Asia, representing the Juggernauts. It is MeomaikA.
Oh.
Here we go. Also, hold on. I want to call out some people in the chat. No cloning Luke. Like, I don't know where you guys are from, but here in the land of Australia,
it's in different states.
True. They are from the West. I don't know, man. Yeah. I mean, but here in the land of Australia, right? 16. All right.
Sydney.
Sydney.
Yeah, in Sydney.
It's Sydney Arbor.
Sydney Arbor.
Sydney. 16, mate, all right? That's when you're legal, okay? Shaking my head. Oh my god.
Yeah. I remember specifically during when I was actually 15, we were told this in class that
why?
The age is 15, but only if the other person is up to a certain is up to I think 21 or something.
Oh my god.
Then after that, beyond that, then it is 18.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Well, you know.
Oh no, I think it scales as well. Actually, now that I think about it. So it's legal for 15, but only if the other person is at most 6 years older.
There you go. Now you know.
We were told that during one of those whatchamacallits back in secondary school. We were very specifically told by our teacher. We were very specifically told by our teachers in an assembly.
Yaku.
They made sure to get us all together in an assembly just to tell us that.
Yaku, I'm gonna end this conversation before it goes somewhere that it really should not be going. Okay, I'm gonna put a veto on this. Oh my god.
It was important for us to know for some reason.
It's very important. But
or at least they decided it was important for us to know.
What's more important is that with that pool first, once again, only 4 links coming out here for MeomaikA. We do see that NightPhoenix has been able to defend beautifully. It is Cosmic Sapphire, so walling off isn't too difficult here whatsoever. And we'll see if once again he goes for that hero style. At least for now, StarCraft.
Yes. Oracles once again, and we'll see if he maintains that spicy control.
All right. Yeah. We'll see if he's able to spice all of that up. We'll see if MeomaikA can make sure his spores are in position, because I do think that a lot of things came down to his spore being, especially in his natural last game, being a little bit off center and exposing his mineral line a little bit too much. Maybe that's intentional. Looking at this spore once again here from Meo, I have to wonder.
Yeah, he's kind of... Yeah, we'll see how he positions the queens, I guess. He's trying to get that Venn diagram going on, but of course for now he only wants to limit himself to 1 spore per base. Nice and economical like that.
Yeah, there we go. Only a single spore. First Oracle is going to be diving in, but oh my god, already 2 queens here in position. The Oracle does no damage whatsoever. And MeomaikA, behind this, going for another very fast lair.
Yeah, I guess we're looking at that Hydra timing once again coming down from him, which I do believe has a lot more success on Cosmic Sapphire than other whatchamacallit.
Yeah, than other maps. 100%. A lot of that is because on Cosmic Sapphire you don't have a ramp at your natural, so it's a lot easier to kind of diverge your attention away from the third base and in towards the natural instead. Lings do take down one of the pylons, but across the map 4 adepts are coming across the map at the same time. 2 oracles dip in towards the natural. And
despite the precautions MeomaikA has taken, more drones have gone down. The adepts are being as annoying as can be at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like they're threatening a shade. Instead of going for a shade, it looks like we have a recall instead. Every single adept survives, which means they'll be able to be used at home to defend and hold on to this third base. MeomaikA going to try and go for a counterattack, but again, the adepts are already here.
Yeah, alongside with the oracles. And I like this from NightPhoenix as well. He didn't really waste too much energy across the map trying to kill as many drones as possible, so he still has plenty of DPS to deal with these lings.
Oh yeah.
Oh! But if only they were actually attacking that location! The wall is wall. Okay, it's fine.
The wall is a wall. It's all good. Hydra's already on the way, +1 on the way as well. MeomaikA, what's important to take note of is that he is still droning, so even though he teched up incredibly quickly, even though he has a bunch of Hydras, it looks like he's still going to work towards hitting a timing instead of just going across the map with everything he has, like he was forced to last game.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't lost as many workers this time. He's on a relatively healthy 45 drone count. Nice pick off of one of these oracles. It's going to be a little bit less annoying to deal with in the eventual push.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I'm much more happy with 45 than 38, which is what we had last game. And it looks like 45 is all we're going to be seeing. More Ling Hydra being made behind this. MeomaikA is already working on these rocks as well across the map, so he is looking to go all in. It looks like this time though, NightPhoenix is getting much more better prepared. We have multiple shield batteries. We have even stasis traps being thrown down. Yeah,
that is a big difference between this game and the previous game. Well, that and the sheer amount of units here from MeomaikA. Seems that despite being a bit more prepared for this, however, it seems like it's a little too much right now for NightPhoenix to be able to defend.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we only have 4 gateways to work with right now. We have 2 more gateways on the way, and it looks like with this, NightPhoenix is going to be able to repel the first wave of Lings, but there are so many Hydras busting on in. Overcharge is popped, but it looks like MeomaikA doesn't care.
Yeah, Overcharge has run out at this point. So many Hydras are getting a full concave on top of all of these Stalkers. The Ling buffer may have gone down, but there's nothing for the Lings to buffer anymore. So GG is called. MeomaikA ties up our series 1-1. And we're going to our ace match.
GG. I'm sure MeomaikA was hoping for game number 1 to go more along these lines, right? We have a decent drone count at 45. You can reinforce that much stronger. You have that much more Hydras to work with. He only lost 4 drones earlier on as opposed to last game where he lost much more than that. So a much crisper timing there by MeomaikA.
Definitely. You know what I'm realizing? It's kind of ironic because despite being a little bit more prepared, well, the intention here from NightPhoenix was to prepare better for the push, but because he was doing all of that, he wasn't getting as many gateways as he did in game number 1, and that I think was really something that helped him out in the defense. Just his sheer ability to warp in more and more Stalkers, like you mentioned. Game 2, he only had 4 gateways.
Yeah, and I mean, he did have some more gateways finishing up, but a large part of that was, you know, that gateway explosion that he got last in game number 1 because he was walling off at his third base as well. And I guess he didn't want to do that this game because he knew a push was coming and didn't want to leave his production exposed. There's kind of a lot that came into it. You could also argue that maybe MeomaikA was that much more confident with his push as well. We saw the overcharge, and this game, like, it didn't stop him. Like, it didn't deter him. It didn't buy NightPhoenix time.
Just kept shooting. Alrighty then, we are gonna end it all here in our ace match. Winner of this will be our first semifinalist. I think I'll check later. As we conclude on Tropical Sacrifice, where in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we of course have the yellow Protoss player coming out from the land of Ukraine. He of course is going to be representing Hot-Headed Gaming, HHG. He is the spicy, formerly known as Sly Crab, NightPhoenix.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice, we have the Vietnamese Teal Zerg player himself, the king of Southeast Asia, the Hydra king himself, going for a pool first opener. It is MeomaikA.
Just missing the hatch block.
Just barely misses it. MeomaikA still gets his hatchery up on time. And I have to wonder, MeomaikA's he's tried to go for the same build every game so far. Do it again in the ace match?
Here's the thing, like, I don't think he's gonna do it. You mentioned it at one point in the series, and ever since then, my mind has flooded back to the memories of MeomaikA versus Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'll recall, he did the Hydra timing on Cosmic Sapphire, and then went into Tropical Sacrifice, where he did something very different, involving a very different tech unit.
Yeah, if you remember, against Hearthstone, he went for a Nidus all-in with Queens, with Ling Queen. Behind it, he got Gases, and he went for a Spire, which was crazy. So they were like, it was kind of a multifaceted Nidus all-in that he was able to pull off. I have to wonder, though, has NightPhoenix looked at that series? Because that was a pretty famous series. Like, a lot of people had their eyes on that.
Definitely. A lot of people watching over the shoulders and just going wild after it ended. Was it Rise, I think, who posted that video? Or was it Maples? I don't remember.
I think it was Maples. Rise wasn't there. I don't
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. You're like, all these Protoss players, they look the same, puppy.
Yeah, all these NA Protoss players, you know?
True. Yeah, I think it was Maples, but yeah. We'll see what MeomaikA does here. For the time being, he is going for Ling Speed, no additional gases, so it doesn't look like any kind of crazy Nidus opener for now. But we'll see if he changes things up here.
Yeah, all of this is to be determined. Again, when it comes to ZvP, the early game is basically the same for every game, but once we get to the midpoint, that's when players get a chance to diverge.
Oh yeah, that's when they can kind of vary things up. Already the first two adepts get into the main base. They haven't been able to deal any economic damage. They get recalled the hell out of here, so they will not be going down. They'll be safe and sound at home to defend the third. Meanwhile, once again, Stargate opener. Phoenix is coming out for NightPhoenix. I mean, sorry, Oracle's coming out for NightPhoenix.
Aw. I was getting excited a little bit there.
I know.
Yeah. I was gonna have a whole thing like, he glides through the night. But they're too hot.
Oh,
so
God.
I see you. By the thermal, like Cam.
Yeah, I would like to think that he makes Phoenixes in PvP at least. You know, maybe Roddy is maybe thinking about picking him up because of that. I don't know.
Just for the name.
Just for the name. Look.
I'm surprised Roddy hasn't signed. Yeah, I'm surprised Roddy hasn't just signed every player whose name is Phoenix.
True. What's going on, mate? What's happening with Team Roddy?
There are a lot of Phoenixes out there, Roddy.
Yeah. Look, we did it. We got Starduck and Dolan.
Yeah.
We're getting all the ducks.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Oh, God. But speaking of ducks, we do see that NightPhoenix is switching things up entirely. He's crazy. He's quacked. He is not going for Blink behind this. He is changing things up entirely. There is no third base, so MeomaikA, I'm sure alarm bells are ringing that something different is coming his way.
Yeah, MeomaikA, meanwhile, still going for pretty much the exact same thing, and this has got to be a lot tougher for Hydras to deal with. I see a Robo Facility also being thrown down. Are we thinking maybe Disruptors eventually?
Oh, we'll see. I'm really worried for MeomaikA, not gonna lie, because I'm pretty sure it was in the Hearthstone series where he just got hard countered. Glaive Adepts love Lings, they love Hydras as well. Like, it's so difficult to make Ling Hydra work against Glaive Adepts, especially with this many gateways. In total, we have 6 gates here for NightPhoenix. That's 2, 4, 6, sorry. 8 Phoenix, sorry, 7 Phoenixes for NightPhoenix. That's a lot of gates.
Oh,
said Phoenix again.
Yeah, I didn't want to point that out.
I noticed.
It's a lot of knights, yeah. So that. But yeah, these adepts are gonna do a real good job of just pinning down. Well, first off, they're gonna evaporate the Lings. Then they're pretty much gonna contain the Hydras. All he really needs to do is warp in a couple more rounds of them, and he should be able to take them out as well.
Yeah, we'll see if MeomaikA can hold on, because this is a 2-base all-in, by the way. Because of the Robo, we have a Warp Prism. More often than not, Protoss players will expand behind this, but not NightPhoenix. He is looking just hammer down that Adept Key.
Yeah, A to make him, A to move him, the only button you really need. But when your opponent has high ground, maybe that's a little bit more difficult. Now that we're on even footing, though, yeah, it's hard to see NightPhoenix losing this.
Yeah, the Lings are trickling in, and without the Lings, there is no buffer for the Hydras. The Hydras, they just run past. They go for the Prism.
That's definitely a nice pickoff here. MeomaikA has lost a lot to be able to deal with that, but at least he gets a little bit of breathing room behind this. I say that as the Adepts are shade back in.
Yeah, they shade in across the map. There are barely any Hydras here to help defend. We have another prison, by the way, which means that Phoenix is not going to transition. He's still committed to these two bases.
And he needs to be able to essentially cripple MeomaikA from here. A lot of Lings are coming down, but again, there was no Roach Warren. It's Lings and Hydras can deal decently against Adepts when they're in low numbers and when they're split up, but when they're bunched together, when they regroup, it's going to be a tough ask.
Yeah, it really is. Like, Lings are falling. 11 drones have already gone down. MeomaikA cannot afford these losses. It looks like the Adept count is kind of trickling in, though, because without that War Prism, it's really hard to reinforce. So maybe MeomaikA can stabilize.
Yeah, he's definitely lost a lot, but he's getting a bit of breathing room here. The Warp Prism is back in. But MeomaikA has taken this time to just build up his Hydras and spend the rest of his minerals on Lings. He might be able to stifle this.
Yeah, he may be able to, but it looks like the third base is going to be forfeit. A couple more drones are going down. MeomaikA is forced to fight, but again, where are that Ling buffer? It's just not here.
Yeah, it was here, but, you know, Glaze Adepts, they're pretty good against Lings.
Yeah, and again, there's a reason why this is kind of a hard counter. GG gets called. NightPhoenix takes the series 2-1, and he knocks out MeomaikA.
He really proves that he's on fire today. Very nicely done here, being able to take out Nikic and then MeomaikA, two very tough Zerg players, one after the other. ZvP is definitely looking on point, but he already has an opponent for him waiting in the semifinals, and it is not a Zerg player. Ooh. We got our wish, Light.
Let's go. I don't know if I wanted it like this, but again, congratulations to NightPhoenix, proving that his PvZ is on point, also showing that he can adapt to his opponent. MeomaikA did the same thing 3 games in a row, and by the time we got to the ace match, NightPhoenix knew, mate, if you're gonna do this again, you're just gonna die to Glaive Adepts. So I'm just gonna double down, go all in, and hope and pray that you're just making Hydras.
Yeah, if you do this, then you're gonna die if I do this. So I'm just gonna do this. It's all the same to you. No, please don't do that. Yeah, well, you know, I'm gonna do that.
That's a great reenactment, Yaku. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, good. But yeah, congratulations to NightPhoenix. As you were saying, though, now he has a Terran opponent waiting for him.
He does. A very, very unique Terran player. Probably the most stylistic Terran player in all of... Well, from Korea, I should say, because, of course, Ziggy is now residing in Korea, so there's a little bit of contention for the title of most stylistic Terran player in Korea. Honmono has taken out a very distinctive Protoss player. Again, we were mentioning it a little bit earlier today. Tied for first seed with Demi. Beastork was defeated by Honmono for him to get to these semifinals. So that does bode pretty well for his TVP. Regardless, this is, I think, going to be a very interesting series to look out for.